Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and these are your February 2025 horoscope. February is the prelude to the most intense period of 2025, which will be March and April, because all the planets will be passing through Pisces and Aries in March and April, going retrograde, eclipses, changing signs. Oh, so exciting. But February is the preparation month with some very positive effects that we'll receive from the universe. First of all, it's Jupiter is turning direct. Here it is, my calendar, my 2025 calendar. You can have it now. It's 200 pages, almost interactive. But first of all, Jupiter around the 4th turns direct. And this is a great blessing. When Jupiter turns direct, here is the text for it, but you can start seeing results and rewards for previous actions. We can get the blessings from above, resolutions of moral problems of some sort, just the turning of the winds. Jupiter becomes much more stronger. I call it like double Jupiter when it starts turning direct, because it's energy, it's basically stationary pretty much the whole of February around the 11th, 12 degrees of Gemini, and it's a very auspicious degree because right behind Jupiter, where it's turning direct and it's going to become stronger and things will start moving forward for us, it's the most auspicious star in the sky, the star Aldebaran, which in ancient astrology is the star of wealth, of blessings, of fortune. So this is a good omen for the finances of the world. Jupiter is turning direct there. So hopefully, generally, all of us will see some financially, some improvement in your personal life. It will depend where it affects you, what kind of blessings this Jupiter with Aldebaran will bring. The bullseye, the luckiest star. But yes, that's the one good side of it. And we're going to have Venus entering into Aries, where it's going to stay 3 months, the whole of February, the whole of March, then it skips April, and the whole of May. So when Venus is so long in a sign, it's going to give us blessings there in certain area of our life. Think back to 2017 around the spring. There was a similar situation there, but I'll go through each of the 12 signs to see. Venus always improves and makes better whatever area it passes through, despite of its retrograde motion, which will start in March. Its final goal is to make something perfect, more balanced, more worthy of our time, more pleasant, more easy to receive help there in some way, to improve it, to make it better. So certain areas of your life you're going to be making better and improving. And another big event is that Mars is turning direct towards the end of February, 23 degrees. It's been retrograde December, January, most of February. As I said, I expect this Mars retrograde to bring changes, corrections of the prices of real estate, of borders, of countries, and maybe stalling back wars because Mars is moving retrograde in some way. But there will be kind of like maybe endings of fights, of battles, or easing off of difficulties in such areas. If there was problems, they start getting fixed. If there was inflammatory conditions, flus, hopefully will become less so, and energy and productivity will increase. You might see the results of working hard on something and starting to see the results of it. And emotionally, people will not be as tense and so sensitive and touchy as they are during Mars retrograde. But that's mostly towards the end of the month that we'll see those improvements. And the other big event that is happening is the North Node with Neptune. We've never seen this in our lifetime, and we'll never see it again, because Neptune will never be again in Pisces, and North Node with Neptune in Pisces is once in a lifetime experience. They're joining together. The whole February, March is under its influence. They're within a degree all the time together. It's going to get surreal, guys. Neptune is otherworldly planet. Pisces is otherworldly energy. North Node, wherever it goes and joins Neptune in Pisces, it's like you're in some LSD trip. Some of you will be waking up and wondering, do I live on Earth, or what is this different reality? I'm a parallel world of some sort. You'll see it maybe on the news that it's a lot of new energy. North Node starts a new cycle with Neptune for which will be 16 years old, but it's very Piscean. It's unfamiliar. Pisces is unfamiliar. It feels foreign. It's very different. You're waking up in a new world, in a new reality. This will happen in your personal life as well. And also intuition will be through the roof this month. People will be dreaming about past events, past life, future events, because the wall between the worlds thin with this really like a portal to another dimension, Neptune and North Node together. So in some areas of your life, depending where it falls from your ascendant, sun or moon, you might have like epiphanies. God might show you directly through your third eye or through intuitions and hunches and inspirations, some secrets that were revealed for you and that you'll become aware of. But also there is a negative side to Neptune North Node, because all the negative vibrations of Pisces and Neptune can escalate through the North Node. Fears, blame, guilt, fear of the unknown, this kind of low vibrational emotions that is just fears, paranoia, suspicions as well, victimhood states. And so be careful, stay at the high vibrations the whole 2 months, February and March. I would advise you, if you can listen to classical music, to bring in the high vibrations of Neptune, North Node, Pisces, be around nature more, have introspective time alone. We're going to have a lot of Pisces planets, as you can see, not just February, but March and April. So many planets will be there. It's going to be crazy. So this inner work and introspection is good to do, but something magical can come through Neptune North Node, because they open portals to the astral. If you're connected to the high astral, if you're naturally forgiving, kind person, if you can let go of the past, if you can let go of things that no longer serve you, you can have like a divine gift of blessing. Neptune is divine love, unconditional love, and divine grace. And the North Node enhances it in Pisces. So like a miraculous events and even actual miracles, I don't know, Fatima scale can happen around the world, but in your personal life as well, where you're freed from karmas you've been carrying for a long time. Pisces is the last time of paying off the karma. Neptune is also the same energy. The North Node is, kind of escalates all this. So you pay off some debt and you're freed from something. A miracle happens in your life. Like God gives you through unconditional love, not because you deserve it, because God is loving, the Creator is loving. If you turn towards in a prayerful condition, an introspective condition, if you give yourself time after you wake up to go within, there can be some true miracles that happen. And just dreams will be crazy. Just to warn you, Neptune with the North Node, you might be dreaming of things that very vivid dreams that come to the surface, sometimes almost real. Like, just be aware, maybe a bit more rest in February and in March with the so many Pisces energies. But Mars is turning direct, so things will start becoming. But Mars turns direct at the end of February, and Venus and Mercury turn retrograde in March. So it's non-stop February, March. So January, February, March, April. After April, things start becoming much more smoother, guys. But just the preparation phase, and use the Piscean energy of Neptune and the North Node to manifest. And Saturn is there. Neptune is a high ideal. Connect yourself to high refined feelings through art, through music, through imagining how you want things to be, the ideal version of it. And Saturn is there, can make it happen over the next 2-3 months to manifest it. Use this connection to the higher world, so otherwise you don't want to connect to the inner fears, the lower astral, and deception. You have to be careful with Neptune North Node. There'll be many charismatic figures that appear, prophets, gurus, saviors of the world. Neptune Pisces is to save, and people feel very excited about that. But the bubble will quickly burst if such figures are not truthful and aligned to divine order, whether they're rulers, leaders, or people in your personal life. If they're promising you the moon and the stars, which these houses will be very high in February, March, because in April, the North Node and Saturn join together. So the bubble will burst. Saturn is a corrective influence down to earth, And if you don't see results, you have to correct something, or you see the lies, or if it was like a proper inspirational figure or idea you had, you can start manifesting it towards April. This ideal that comes to you now, this inspiration that you divinely download. So wow, what a magical, what a surreal, what another worldly energy we are gonna have. It's gonna get weird, it's gonna get fantastic, it's gonna get intense emotionally. And let's dive into the 12 signs. If you want my personal horoscope for each of the 12 signs for 2025, I'm putting a link below. Each 2.5 hours for each sign. I've poured my soul and heart in them. We sold thousands so far, no refunds, no one has asked for one. People are loving them. If you want to try for your personal sign, I recommend Ascendant. And if you want all 3 Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it's a discount price. Putting a link below, or the calendar, so you know what is happening every day of the year. But now let's begin for the 12 signs. Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, February 2025. Gemini, the month starts with a Jupiter turning direct at the beginning of the month in your sign around the 11th degree. So especially those who are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 degrees Gemini, if you know the degree of your Sun, Moon, or Rising, they would feel it very strongly. And when Jupiter is pretty much stationary direct, it stays around those 2, 3 degrees, 11, 12, the whole month, 13, it becomes like double Jupiter. Because it stays in one place, so it's extra potent, like 2 Jupiters in your sign. So expect Gemini, for all Geminis, something to start turning around in your life and to become more beneficial, stronger in a positive way. To become, if there was something blocked in your life, if there was something that was complicated and not moving, you start gradually, because it's a gradual process, feeling how it's unlocking, how it's the more abundance is coming as well, because Jupiter is becoming direct in the sign of Gemini, but at the background of the star of wealth and luck and fortune, Aldebaran. It's considered one of the most auspicious, if not the most auspicious stars, the eye of the bull in astrology, in ancient astrology, and Jupiter is turning direct there, which also is a good sign for the finances of the world, that near such kind of a good star, that Jupiter. But specifically for you, if you're a Gemini, especially around those degrees, but other Geminis as well, because Jupiter becomes double strong in your sign, next to a star of fortune. So I wish you for your fortunes to unlock, then opportunities for abundance, for growth of some sort can come for you. Some difficult situation can get resolved and start moving forward. You can feel more optimism, more energy. Jupiter is healing energy as well. Jupiter is expansion energy. Jupiter is energy of opportunities in some way that will start coming to you. So good luck. That this is the good news I wanted to tell you. And Jupiter, of course, rules your 7th house of relationships. So even matters concerning relationships can become more fortunate, or partnerships or contracts or agreements with others. Or if your partner was in some stuck situation, you might start seeing opportunity or things moving forward or relationship improving. And Jupiter rules your 10th house as well. So it's connected to career. There can be something fortunate that improves or starts getting untangled in regards to career project, in regards to authorities or institutions, if you're dealing in any ways with those. And maybe some authority figure of power can be instrumental for your path in life, can be instrumental to help you with something that you want to achieve or do. Also, because Jupiter is this wise and benevolent figure. It rules your 10th house of authority or people with power. You can approach maybe someone like that. And you see at the same time, there is a lot happening in your 10th house. And it will be happening not just in February, but in March as well. Very intense, so many planets. And in February, this process starts with, and the whole February is pretty much under the influence of the North Node with Neptune. They're conjunct the whole of February within a degree. In your 10th house, they start a new cycle which happens once every 14 years, 15 years. Next time they'll meet maybe in your 12th house in 15 years or whatever. But the new cycle happens. So for some of you, it can be like and together with the ruler of that sign turning direct and this new cycle starting, and Neptune removes boundaries, makes you dream, makes you download inspirations that can be connected with your role in the world, with your career, with the activities that you want to, even if you're someone who is retired, for example, this is your active, the house of action, the house of how you kind of what are you doing for the world, the house of karmas, not karmas like what you kind of like the deeds and the works that you do in this world. So there can be, for example, on a positive level, removing of some barriers, because North Node, Neptune, they remove barriers that were blocking your actions. Or there can be a new inspiration that comes for you for certain career project, a new idea that comes to you, and especially people that are in Neptunian spheres of career, Piscean, which is social services, healing services, psychologists, the arts, musicians, movies, anyone who is of the imagination, anyone whose career or whose actions are connected to, or you might get inspired to such kind of activities, or anyone who is in the healing, doctors, healers, psychologists, astrologists, in the mystical spheres as well. Or anything that is connected to helping others in some way. This is Neptunian Pisces energy. Some of you might even want to reorient your profession to be more altruistic, in a sense, to be more compassionate, to align with your higher visions, to align with your higher principles, which is Neptune, to be more aligned to divine love in some way and inspiration rather than, And if such ideas for new career directions appear for some of you, if they're too unrealistic, there is a danger there with Neptune, of course. There'll be a correction when the North Node joins Saturn further into the year. I think it's April at some time. There might be some inspiration now towards your career, towards the direction you're going in life, and dissolution of some complicated situation. But if it's unrealistic, the correction will come further on, later on, as I said, towards April, towards March, April, with the North Node and Saturn conjunct there. But yeah, there is definitely here this influence, which is interesting. That's in Mercury is for a big part of the month in your 10th house. Saturn is there, it's been for a couple of years. And in March, it really starts escalating. In April, everything will be in Pisces. Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So the big events connected to your career and worldly actions in the world and social status. So something to do with your social status that is starting from February that can really change your influence in the world or your position on the ladder of the hierarchy of society. It's going to be of importance there. But yeah, if you're receiving certain inspirations for the direction, new directions, now they'll be flowing in February. And of course, the North Node and Pisces and Neptune, if you're not in your Neptunian career type, or if you don't have such Neptunian activities, can feel a little bit disorienting, can feel a little bit like a confusion that can escalate when Venus and Mercury go retrograde in April in your 10th house. So people who are not in the right career or who are not, there can be a period that starts about not being certain, and they'll revise it over the next 2-3 months to come to the right. There might be even dissolution of certain, part of your career or the direction, some big change that's going to happen there. Just telling, because there's so many planets there, it's so hard to pinpoint specifically which one of those things will happen. But just to know, the focus is already at this 10th house, a lot of activity there in your first house, like as I said, the double Jupiter energy. So this is angular houses, very active. Jupiter turns direct in your first house, which is to initiate, to start things, to start moving forward. 10th house, career or worldly actions in your social status. So there is activity. There is these all houses of action, basically. We're also going to have Venus entering your 11th house, and will stay there the whole February, the whole March. Then April moves into a 10th house where you might be working on some project or revising what you want to do with career or direction. And then comes back the whole of May pretty much in Aries again. So 3 months you're going to have this Venus in Aries in your 11th house. So you're starting like a period now, like a new theme that is connected to 11th house, friendships, social groups, networking, very visible house again. And your dreams and hopes and Venus, whenever it goes for a long time in a house, even when it goes retrograde, the final results is improvement, more balanced, better house, better affairs of that area of your life. The retrograde period is when you do some corrections, but the themes start from February already. Maybe a person enters your life, or a friendship, or a group that helps you, joining a group of people that helps you reach certain goals and dreams of yours. And eventually there'll be a rethinking of groups that you belong to, social medias as well, rearranging of those topics that already from February you start feeding. But ultimately, Venus would want you to have more fair friendships, more balance, people that are actually good for you, useful, that are not using you, that you're mutually helping each other. Also can help you, give you access to groups that will be beneficial for you in some way materially. 11th house is gains and rewards as well. And by May, you might have become more gainful, maybe with a bonus at your job, or maybe with an increased salary. Or if you work for yourself, these are the gains of your business. Venus can definitely, over the next 3-4 months, grow your gains. But of course, there will be the correction period when Venus is retrograde in March, where you'll see like, okay, how can I do things a bit better? This is, but now the themes start from February. March, you do the correction, and May, you start seeing the results of those corrections, and you might have achieved or come closer to achieving a goal or dream or completing it by May, to become more gainful, to receive some recognition, title, or order, or honor from, it might be a diploma, it might be a reward, as I said, like bonus, or recognition of some sort. It's also 11th house is your clients. If you have clients, these are your following. This is your sphere of influence socially. Or maybe generally for some of you, Venus can just improve your friendships, and when it goes retrograde, you can get in touch with friends you haven't seen for a while, and those can be beneficial though. Someone that you haven't seen, or someone from a social network, and like, oh, I have an idea, and they can give you an idea for a new job or a new project, or recommend you to someone. 11th house is the house of, what are those people that take you under their wing, patrons or whatever, that someone can appear like the fairy godmother energy. Benefactors, people that support you. And Venus is a good planet, so people that support you can play a pivotal role over the next 3-4 months for you. So yeah, if someone appears in your life, there can be something very good coming from them, and Venus is feminine energy as well. Also, yeah, if you're invited to some event with people, with like-minded people, go, because something good will come over the next 3-4 months to you from such areas, large groups of people, or even if it's online, or if it's in person, but like-minded people and individuals. And again, you see, this kind of can help your career, because we said we have a lot of things happening here in the career sphere, and Venus is secondary ruler of Pisces, because Venus exalts in Pisces. So yeah, connections, networking, something that can bring opportunities for your career, for your social status there. And Mars is also turning direct towards the end of the month, though. You might not feel it much the direct motion before 23rd, 4th, 5th, maybe even towards May. And so if there was, so most of the month again, you might have to be dealing with some financial matters, expenses, or repairing of valuables, of possessions, of assets, fixing something that's broken, or trying to rebudget, refinance, to think of a different way to do money. But again, as I said, this is second house, is house of money. Venus is also in the house of gains. This is money, this is cash flow, this is savings, this is cash flow in a sense. So yeah, there might be expenses with Mars, but Venus entering your 11th house says already, I'll bring you new opportunities for gains if your mind is, aligned to these thoughts. And while Saturn here is asking you to put in order your already existing finances, your spending, maybe to rein them in a bit, Mars is a fixer up to fix some stuff. And of course, Mars retrograde in your second house, February, you might still have to do some of your teeth work. Be careful, inflammation of the gums and teeth. And the second house is the tongue, the whole mouth area and the face area for some of you might happen. But when Mars starts turning direct, and second house also family, there might be something with family that is a bit more tense, that you have to solve some issue. But towards the end of February, Mars turns direct on the 23rd, 24th. So gradually you'll see stabilizing a financial situation, more certainty. Or if you've worked hard towards procuring some, tying up financial ends, or creating more financial stability over the previous months, when Mars turns direct, you're going to start seeing the results of that. And if there were some delays with finances or material concerns, again, it starts improving towards the end of February. I always love to give this example. My ex-partner, when Mars was retrograding his second house, he had to, those 2-3 months when it was retrograde, he was told he had to pay $20,000 for something that someone stole his phone, spent the money on the phone by calling some scam, and he was fighting Mars retrograde so he doesn't have to pay this money because it was a scam of some sort. And when the week of the Mars turning direct, they told him, okay, you don't have to pay this money. So the problem got resolved. But at the same time, during the retrograde period, because of this problem arise, he found money from different sources and saved and whatever, and ended up with more money because of what he saved than initially. So again, the result can be very good finally. So there you go, Gemini. I think the biggest thing for you is Jupiter turning direct in your sign. And of course, the stellium here in the 10th house, but you see very active month for you. So thank you very much.